Hello everyone, I hope you all are good, and today is the day 9 of learning the AI basics, and today we are going to discuss that what is deployment, why do we need to deploy our models, and what are the basic 3 steps of deploying the model. So to understand this, we have to move to the computer screen. So without any further ado, let's get started. Okay, so what is deployment? We are going to discuss this first. Let us just see the definition. Deployment is the process of taking a model or application that we built and making it available for people to use it in the real world. So what is deployment? As I have discussed and as I have told you already, the deployment is making your application or your model live so that people can use it and they can give feedback. So that is what deployment is known as. So in the simple words, if we talk about deployment, means putting your model or application online so the users can interact with it. So this is what deployment means. Now moving on to why do we need a deployment and why deployment is important. So let us just see why is it important. First is users can access your model. Your AI system becomes usable to real people. So it is really important for you to even deploy the model, because if you have created something, if you have created a model or application and you are just putting it, you are just keeping it in the local machine, that is of no use. It is really important for you to even deploy it so that people can use it and people can give you real-time feedback. So that is known as deployment. That is why deployment is important, so that users can access your model and can use it. Now second point is businesses generate value. Companies earn money only when models are deployed. That is the thing, that even if you have not deployed the model, the companies will not be able to earn the money because the model that is lying in your local machine is of no use. Third point is real world feedback. Feedback, that is I have already discussed above, that even when you are deploying a model, you are going to get the real feedback from the real users. That is really important for you to have the feedback from the people so that they can use it and give us the feedback that how do they feel, how are they feeling in the user's point of view. That is really important for us to take the real feedback from the people. Now fourth point is continuous improvement. You can update and improve the system based on the user data. That is for sure, that if you are deploying a model, if you have deployed a model and now the people are giving you the feedback, so on the basis of that feedback we can improve, we can change, we can make our model more good. So that is what it is important, that it will help us to improve the system based on the user's data or the feedback that they have given to us. Now there are basically 3 steps of deploying the model, so let us just discuss that. Now moving on to the first step. What is the first step known as? First step is known as packaging. Now what is basically packaging? What is packaging? So packaging, think of packaging like a way that you are packing your lunchbox. So when you pack a lunchbox, what you do basically, you put your spoon, you put your meals, like you put your chapati, you put the sabzi that you are eating. So that is what you are packing it into a box so that you can take it to your office or your college or whatever you are going to. So that is what you do. You just pack your things into a box so that you can make it travel wherever you are going. So when you have to deploy a model, it is really important for you to even pack the things. Like whenever you are writing a code, you always have different things. You have the code, you have the dependencies, you have the environment variables, everything is there. And it is really important for you to pack everything into a single container so that can be moved further. So that is where first step is known as packaging, where you pack your code into a single container, and that container is basically known as Docker. I hope you guys must have heard about it. So Docker is the container. Docker is used to pack everything into a single box so that you can use your code and deploy it. So let us just read the definition. Definition is packaging means wrapping your model and its dependencies together so it can run anywhere. So I hope you have understood that what is packaging. You have to pack your entire code into a single container so that you can use it and you can run it anywhere. Now moving on to the second point. Second point is basically what is the server. Now if we talk about server, let me just change the color. So when we talk about the server is known as the home of your code. Why home? Because this is where your code will live. This is where your code will live, and you will be able to access your code anytime, anywhere. So this is where your code will live. This is known as the server. The concept is the server is the computer where the deployed models live. So this is the server. This is the computer where the deployed models basically live. These are the models that basically live. So this is known as the server. Now this server can be anything, like if you deploy a model, you must have deployed it on GCP or you have deployed it on AWS. These are known as the servers where you can deploy your models. Now think of it as a home of the application, and this server runs continuously so users can access it anytime. So this is really important, so that your model is running anytime, is running every time, so that you can access your model, you can access your things anytime. So it is really important for you to put it on a server so that it is continuously running. Now moving on to the third point. Third point is known as the API. API is known as the application programming interface. Now what is an API? API is known as the doorway between your model and the user. Now what happens? Suppose this is my model, it is lying on a server. Now what API will do? API will act as a doorway. When user will come, it will ask some question. That question API will hit, and then API will give that to the server, give to the model. Model will process everything and return back the answer. Now that answer is then traveled to the user again. So this is what API acts as. API acts as the doorway between the user and the model. So this is what the basic role of the API. API acts as a doorway. So concept of the API is the application programming interface that allows users or applications to communicate with the deployed model. So this is what it will help you to communicate with the deployed model and the real-time user. So this is what it will help. It will help you to communicate with the deployed model. So think of it as a doorway of the house that we have discussed already. Users send a request through the API and receives a response. So that is what I have told you, that what user will do. User will, suppose this was an API, this was a user, and this is where our model is living. Now what will do? User will request through the API. Now API will give that question to the model. Model will process it. It will give back to the API, and then API will give us the response. So this is how API works. API helps us. The API behaves as a doorway between the user and the deployed model. So I hope you understand what is basically the 3 steps, that how do we deploy a model and why is it important for us. So it is really important for us to understand that why it is important for us to deploy a model, because if you have made something, it's really important for you to even deploy it for the users to interact, and you can get more feedback, and you can just enhance your website or whatever you have made, enhance your model as well on the basis of the users' feedback. So that is where deployment comes into the picture, where you deploy things for the people to use it. So this is what deployment is. So I hope you understood the basic definition and the basic idea behind what is deployment. So that's it for this video. I hope you like the video. If you like the video, please don't forget to hit a like, and if you have any questions you like, please comment down below. So that's it for this video. I hope you like the video. Just stay tuned for the next video. Till then, bye.